Hello and welcome to the monthly lookie at Russia. The leader has delivered his New Year message. This year the message was just over 3 minutes long. For reference, last year's message was over 8 minutes. These are the thumbnails for the 2024 and the 2025 message respectively. For 2025, the core of the message seems to be that goals have been achieved, but there is still work to do, and that when Russians are united, every goal will be achieved.
21 века. В России этот период был наполнен многими, в том числе исторически значимыми, масштабными событиями. Мы ставили перед собой большие цели и достигали их. Не раз преодолевали испытания, потому что были вместе.
The president does not look pleased though, and yet Mr. Putin's approval ratings are as high as ever. There are a few issues, of course. Inflations remain stubbornly high, which hurts everyone, but especially people on low or fixed incomes, and the Bank of Russia can do so much to control inflation without some serious curbing of government spending, which may be problematic because of both the costs associated with the war and the government commitment to social programs. Russia's overall exports valued in USD is declining. On the other hand, even if imports are relatively subdued, it still takes a lot of rubles to buy in US dollars. As of the time of recording, it is over 100 rubles for $1. Gas has stopped flowing through the Ukrainian pipe. This will impact the volume of gas Russia can sell into Europe. The Moldovan government has declared a state of emergency back in the middle of December. Slovakia might be affected. Austria has declared that they have diversified already, so they will not be affected by the gas stopping. So has the Czech Republic. But the gas markets in Europe have already begun to edge higher. Not to state the obvious, but we are in the middle of winter, and the closing down of the pipeline going through Ukraine is only one of the contributory factors to price volatility. Even so, any jump in energy costs quickly becomes a political issue in Europe and undermines cohesion in the bloc, as well as eroding consensus for ongoing support of Ukraine. Because of sanctions, the lucrative European market has shrunk quite dramatically. But then the price of gas has nearly doubled in Europe since 2021. By the way, this is not the price paid for household gas. This graph from Eurostat charts the cost including taxes and VAT for consumers. Europe is importing large amount of LNG from the United States, but Russia has done relatively well with the sale of LNG too. In March of this year, sanctions on LNG will come into force, but these seem to be targeting investments in LNG infrastructure in Russia and transshipping. This round of sanctions should not affect sales of Russian LNG in Europe, but should make it more difficult for Russia to transport LNG to their Asian market. But Russia has gained at least one customer, apparently. According to some sources, Azerbaijan apparently has signed a gas contract with Russia. Azerbaijan is selling its gas to Europe and may use Russian gas only to cover domestic demand. Please note that, according to the EU representatives and the Azerbaijani government, we are absolutely not buying rebranded Russian gas at twice the money. The war is going all right. The Russian army has advanced rapidly in the last few months, but the cost has been very high casualties. Mr. Putin had to use the very expensive missiles, the Oreshnik. Oreshnik has been translated as hazelnut, but looking at how it works, I would translate it as walnut, as when you crack a walnut open, the kernel may come out in many pieces. But hey, what do I know? This New Year message from President Putin was brief. The lighting was not as good as the previous year, and Mr. Putin looked bleached out. And perhaps because of this, I got the impression that the president is not pleased. The approval ratings for both the president and the government are very high. However, approval of how the country is being run is declining. I would take this as an early warning signal. In Anglo-American societies, for comparison, if people think that the country is not being run well, this reflects on the approval ratings of individual politicians and the government. Russians seem to be a bit different. They can say that the president and the government are doing a good job and, at the same time, state that the job is not being done well. A sort of parallel thinking strategy. To conclude, I think that internal pressure is building up, and Russians may be starting to think about change. It is not given that change will come soon or that it will be dramatic. A lot depends on Mr. Putin and his close circle, and on what they are going to do this year, both on the home front and how they are going to deal with a difficult to predict, not clearly politically aligned American president. As usual, links to the sources I have used in the description below. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.